Sarbanand Sonowalji, Honorable Union Minister for Ports, Shipping and Waterways, and former Chief Minister, Assam. When I met him for the first time, मैंने कहा सोनोवाल जी नाम में सब कुछ आ गया सर्वानंद that's the name. He cares for his privacy as none does, and therefore that smile on his face, one can neither match his sense of commitment, dedication, direction. But what is most impressive is he enjoys his job. He puts his heart and soul into it. His level of knowledge about his ministry is amazing. And when it was suggested to me about this conclave, I did not have a second thought. But Jayant Barwaji here has played a slight trick. And the trick is that he is on my right side and Mr. Sonowal is on my left side. When I sit in Rajya Sabha, on the right side is the government, on the left side is the opposition. He is not cut out for that. I don't engage in prophecy, but I'm assured of it. So from both sides, I'm in cozy environment. While Sonowalji was addressing that I have held political positions or constitutional positions, I just scribbled here, how come he missed my jealous mistress, the legal profession? How wrong I was. His next sentence was about my role as a senior advocate. The man is 24/7 preparation. This conclave and the kind of prefixing Sonowalji has done defines its value. It is my privilege to be at this conclave, the third edition. It's a milestone as this is taking place in the national capital. The very fact that it is taking place in the national capital will bring about a greater involvement of the Northeast. And that this is being done by a media house of repute, as indicated by Sonowalji, marked with independence, which is so rare these days. I congratulate you, Janji. The good effort. Keep it up. And a soothing coincidence. And I looked at him when Sonowalji was congratulating the Prime Minister that Assamese being one of the 5 languages that have been accorded the status of classical language, Assamese, Bengali, Marathi, Pali and Pratik. And these have not ripple effect, positive cascading impact. It was unraveled by Sonowalji. What a delightful situation. We have taken so long, but it has fructified. A decision of the cabinet of which Mr. Sonowal is a part. Congratulations to the government on this great historic achievement. And I have no doubt this recognition, well-meaning recognition will have deeper impact in our culture of the Northeast, in educational institutions, and the growth will not only be sustained, but it will be incremental. Language defines culture of a nation. Language defines the strength of a nation. This having been done, it's a matter of joy for all of us. Narratives are set by whom? Anyone can be epicenter of a narrative, but wings are lent to the narratives by media. And media in the Northeast has a daunting task and a huge obligation to discharge for the region and the nation. I was exposed to the rich wealth, cultural heritage of Northeast while being Governor State of West Bengal. Sonawalji, I happened to be chairman of Eastern Zone Cultural Center. I had the occasion to visit all the states. I know firsthand how rich it is. On occasions, I have defined Northeast bountifully gifted by nature. Put in one crucible, New Zealand, Switzerland, and Scotland, and you will find all taken together will be much short of the wealth of Northeast. Each state of Northeast is remarkable and a heaven for the visitor, the tourist, and the local inhabitant. It was in 90s when Narasimha Raoji focused on it. And there was a policy, look east. It was given a little more vigor by Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji when he had a separate department and then a ministry for the region. But Prime Minister Modi took it to the next level. Look east, act east. And this has resulted in phenomenal growth. There has been real focused attention on connectivity, number of airports doubling, waterways, I think, being 20-fold, so on and so forth. This connectivity has generated interest in the entire nation. I can say from this place that this area is a natural heaven for tourists, and tourism by itself can drive the economic engine of a region. Tourism has that potential, if realized, can change the entire landscape. It can generate employment exponentially. And then when a tourist comes to a place, the connectivity with the people is so very different. I would especially appeal to Sonawalji that it should not be one-way direction. People of the Northeast must also make it a point to go to other parts of the country. I, as Rajya Sabha chairman, have been fortunate to invite young boys and girls. And at my place, it was a thrilling moment when boys and girls, impromptu, suddenly I said, let me have your talent exposition, a dance, a song. Remarkable. I was in Arunachal on a day that matters to the state. There was a celebration. I returned There was a mild suggestion by Kiran Rijuji. There's a function at my house. It was 10:30 p.m. Me and my wife, Dr. Sudesh, went there. I cannot tell you, can't describe in words the kind of cultural fiesta, the kind of cuisine, the kind of energy and enthusiasm of the people I saw. So, Northeast is heart and soul of Bharat. I got the more of it when I attended my first global event in Phnom Penh, and that was ASEAN. And there the focus was that the policy of Act East is not limited to the frontiers of our nation. The policy goes beyond. The connectivity, Sonowalji is aware of it. There is a minor hiccup in one of the countries, but it will be a game changer. And what a connectivity it will be, that from Northeast we will be able to go to Cambodia and to see the greatest Hindu temple, Angkor Wat, which is being rejuvenated as a matter of fact by Government of India's efforts. And therefore, I would urge the media to be ambassador for tourism of the Northeast, this house. Media is obvious ambassador. Media can take note of things that can ignite minds and can generate development strides. Much is being done and much has happened. But the potential is still to be untapped. Untapping that would mean the growth engine will be firing on all cylinders. And the Northeast will be attracting global tourists, national tourists. Economy of the area will flourish. Which area of the nation is more suited? I am from agricultural family. For natural farming, that area. Where do you get blessings? Kamakhya. Where do you see a sanctuary of the kind Kaziranga? And for each state I'll come, it has something distinct, something very special. And that distinct special is a gift of the God, a divine situation. Therefore, distinguished audience, Northeast is the happening area, as on a global stage, Bharat is the most happening country at the moment. No country in the world is having the kind of exponential economic upsurge, infrastructural growth as Bharat is having, and Northeast is part of it. I seek all of you to reflect. This is that phase of history where on sea, on land, in sky and space, we are seeing positive developments that are stunning the world. India's rise is unstoppable and Northeast is part of it. We are destined to be a developed nation. That is not in the doubt of anyone. But in the process, everyone has to contribute, and media's role is basic. Fourth pillar of democracy, a bridge between policymakers and public. I would urge strongly that if journalists and media houses ingratiate with partisan interests, that surely does not subserve the interest of the common man or of the nation. Recall the days when the nation faced most draconian, dark period emergency. And Two of the newspapers in particular protested imposition of censorship by keeping their editorial space blank. I will urge change. Editorial space has to be very critical for everyone. Why it is disappearing? Editorial focus has to sensitize people. Editorial space is to be used so that media turns out to be a watchdog. I would call upon the media in particular, print and visual. We are home to 1/6 of humanity. We have to set very high standards of media discourse, media debate, and media discussions. I find more can be done in that direction. Friends, we are living in an age of disruptive technology. The age is being defined by speed. We are virtually at the cusp of another industrial revolution. Industrialization. Our lives are changed forever. Things are getting robotized. In that scene, where a false narrative, anti-national narrative, if not neutralized by employing the technology of machine learning, it can damage our national fabric. And therefore the media has to take note and neutralize menacing, mushrooming of fake news, fast tracking of narratives, sensationalism. They are juicy, but they damage the body fabric of the nation. Media's natural job is to do it. I was happy to hear sentiments about your paper. And I'm sure you'll continue to do that. If we look back, I remember my days of 1990s. I was a member of Parliament and a Union Minister. And the scene then and scene now. Then our gold was shipped to Switzerland so that we could sustain our economic credibility. Our foreign exchange balance then, Sonowalji, was around $1 billion US. Congratulations to the Prime Minister and the government for crossing 700 billion US dollar foreign exchange today. Just imagine where we have come. Media needs to give wings. That in 1990, when as part of the Union Ministry, I went to Srinagar, not even 20 people on the road. Last year, according to Rajya Sabha records, more than 2 crore visited. 2 crore visited as tourists, Jammu and Kashmir. These should be the headlines. I am pained and I am extremely reserved and restrained when it comes to manipulative reporting. Imagine a paper reporting Vice President posts fake photographs. When invited the attention, the paper apologizes. But I know I can't be invasive. I can't be in official action mode. Therefore, let us develop in this country a habit of hand-holding, counseling. We cannot damage our mother or our institutions. We have to nurture them. Democracy gets nurtured when each of its institutions, including the media, optimally perform. And I have no doubt this will take place because all of us are lucky in one sense. We are witnessing a Bharat that is of hope and possibility. We are witnessing a Bharat where everyone is equal before law and accountable to law. We are witnessing a Bharat where power corridors are not extra legally managed. Lies and agents have given up. So, ladies and gentlemen, for me it's a great occasion. It generates a great connect with the Northeast. I will say you have been very thoughtful with the choice of the subjects of the conclave. And some of these subjects deal with existential challenges we face in the country and the world, climate change. Ladies and gentlemen, we are sure we don't have another planet to live. We have only this planet. Ladies and gentlemen, I am sure you will not disagree. Sustainable development is the only development we must engage in. Ladies and gentlemen, I am sure you will be with me on this point. We cannot use our natural resources merely because we have fiduciary power. We are financially empowered not to recklessly use. And I am sure you will be with me on this point. We cannot use our natural resources merely because we have fiduciary power. We are financially empowered not to recklessly use resources that need to be optimally used, like gas, petroleum. We must not engage in that kind of exploitation of nature. We must develop a culture of being committed to nationalism. Personal interests, partisan interests cannot overtake national interests. I see this happening. I would want and urge media to take a stand on anti-national narratives. I urge the media to take a stand on misinformation and disinformation. I want media to take a stand on comparable growth trajectory of large economies. The disproportionate attention being bestowed by the media on issues that merit only a small attention. The events, the self-life of which is hours or days, they hit the headlines. Take, for instance, your Assamese. It should be headline for number of days because it is getting us back to our roots. It reminds us of our civilizational wealth, a wealth that is unparalleled in the world. I congratulate the first, the third in line, and more to come. And best wishes to all of you. We are living in a nation where all of us are ordained to contribute in our journey, in our marathon march for a Viksit Bharat at 2047. And no doubt, being the most vital stakeholders, you all shall, as I would, as everyone else will, give your very best. Nothing but the very best. Thank you.